1. What's up, guys? Welcome back to sWs Shootin with Shane. Brand new setup, man. I'm so honored to have a good brother, Jake Elliot, the one and only. Brother, how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Man, I feel like we've been here before. You've appeared on sWs a few times.
Yeah.
But this is the first time, man, to finally sit down with the actual sit-down interview, man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Thanks for making the drive, man. Like I said, I know you're out a little ways from where I'm at right now, but thanks for making the drive. Got a few things planned, but I actually want to start this off with I usually like to throw curveballs, so I actually want to start this off with a funny story, and I think you'll remember this.
Okay.
I traveled with you once to a show.
You did?
TCW.
Yes.
You remember this ride?
Yep.
We had about 6 people crammed into your vehicle. It was you, your fiance, Tanner Kelly, Cody Heath, Ricky Guns, and myself. And what's funny about it is the 4 of us, the last 4 I just named, we were crammed in the back seat, almost sitting on each other's laps.
Hey, I was comfortable.
Ricky had the blown out shoulder at the time, so he's in the sling.
Yeah.
We had a 12-pack of Mountain Dew sitting in the back window. That was as hot as balls, but we were able to at least reach back and grab them.
Yeah.
But man, you talk about a drive, man. That was like a 3-hour drive, and we get stuck in traffic. And you remember Guns playing rock paper scissors?
Yeah.
With the gentleman, they ended up playing a couple rounds or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a drive, man. That was a hell of a drive. But all right, man. Let me go ahead and jump right into this. First off, I just want to ask, man, how did you get in the business? Because the first time I saw you was at AACW, and you were actually the manager for Brody.
Yeah. Well, when me and Brody was little, we always thought about this big picture of us gearing up, stepping in front of thousands of fans inside that ring and putting on one of the best shows we can do. So my very first match was at WCWO when Brody Bockins was Dustin the Natural Brown. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get in here, get my feet wet, see if I like it or not. I fell out of love with it.
Now, how old were you at this point?
I want to say I was 18 or 19 years old.
Oh, okay, so it was a handful of years ago then.
Yeah, this was a while ago.
Okay.
But I fell out of love with it. I did not like it, taking the bumps. I'm like, I don't want to do this shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, I hit up Brody when he became Brody Bockins. I was like, hey, bro, let me become your manager. He was like, all right, cool, And then from there, I just started slowly falling in love with the business and how everything works around the business. And that's what pulled me in.
Now, you said that your first match was at WCWO then.
Yes.
Okay, so how many years or months was it from that moment to where you were like, I don't want to do this shit, this is not for me, to contacting Brody again to come in and be like, okay, I'm gonna do this now?
It was right after. Like, as soon as I got done, it was an elimination pinfall match, I believe. Either that or a Rumble. One of the two, I can't really remember. But once I took that first bump, I already knew I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I was done with it right then and there.
Take the wind out of you kind of deal?
I was like,
yeah.
I'm done. I don't want to do this. Nope. But it was, I want to say, at least 6 years.
So it was 6-year gap from the first
was,
bump
it
to
was
where it was. Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, I came out with Brody, but I never took no bumps. I never was active inside the ring.
Okay, so when you were doing the manager role for Brody, like when I first met you, you weren't training at that time.
No,
then.
I was not training.
Okay,
at
so
all.
you were just strictly managing.
Yes.
Okay.
And then slowly, at the last AECW building we was at, I slowly started taking bumps and feeling for it more than what I did in my first match. Like, my first match, I didn't know how to take a damn bump.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I was laying on my neck, laying on my hips, laying on my ribs. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that shit. But after slowly progressing and actually learning how to take the bump and learning how to take a super kick or stuff like that, I'm realizing, hey, this is actually pretty dope.
Yeah,
You
like
know
this
what I
is
mean?
okay. I could probably
Like, I want to tell the story now that I see on TV or like growing up. We was always we went to the Jason Maples show.
Yeah.
Right there beside Pizza King. I think it was
EWF.
EWF.
Yeah. Yep.
We never missed a show. Me and Brady never did. And ever since then, like, we was stuck on wrestling. Like, never missed a pay-per-view. Never missed anything to do with WWE. So.
I love when people come on here and they always bring up Jason, man, because Jason was kind of like a catalyst at that time. Yes. Guys like, Justin Danger, who's been on the show, he talked about Jason Maples. Yourself right now, Brody has mentioned Jason Maples. Oh, yeah. Damien DeVille. There's been a countless amount of guys that have come on this show, and they've always mentioned Jason as kind of like a catalyst of, hey, this is like the first live wrestling event that I went to, or this is the first time I actually got to get in a ring and kind of mess around, run the ropes a little bit, or kind of play around in the ring, kind of get a feel for it. Who trained you as far as going into the business? Like, did you work closely with Brody? Like, were you picking his mind on car rides? Or?
Basically what it was is once I started managing, I started talking to Shane Gallagher and everything like that. And I started progressing, like, learning new things, getting trained from the AACW locker room. And then Brody just like, hey, dude, just stop. He goes, you're not learning nothing that you're supposed to be learning. So he took me underneath his wing. And, like, that's my big brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So after I do a match, I'm expecting him like, hey, man, good match. You're learning? Nope.
No, he pulled you off to the side and was like, hey.
He goes, hey, bro, you fucking suck.
Yeah.
Like, straight nail me on everything. You suck. Till this day, I can go out there and put on what I think is a 4 or 5 star match. He's like, no, bro, you fucking suck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You did this wrong. You need to work on this. You did this wrong. You need to sell more. And that's what I want from everybody. Like, if I step foot in the locker room, I'm trying to find the vets. I want them to watch my match and give me feedback.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
and if you can't take the criticism from a veteran,
get your ass
then get out, because you're in the wrong business. Exactly. You know what I mean? Because and I applaud you for that. Like you said, you want to go find the vets. Hey, can you watch my match and please tell me what I did wrong? Exactly. Because that's how you progress. That's how you learn. And I was, speaking of progressing, I was just talking to you here just a couple days ago. I was checking out your last match from WCWO, man, and you've actually been making your way through the circuit.
I'm trying
quite a bit, man. AACW under your belt, WCWO under your belt. I just seen, or obviously TCW, because we rode together to that show. And then I believe you were just
at DCCW.
I was going to say DCCW here recently. Yep. Yeah, so you're actually making your way through quite a bit of the circuit and really putting a name for yourself. I know the Fines, shout out to them too, Sweet to Marcus and Kelly. They're huge fans of Jake Elliott.
Oh yeah, I love them to pieces.
Man, they are just they're the best people. I don't have any negative thing to ever say about Marcus or Kelly. They literally go to every show.
Well, Marcus was there from day one, just like you was, and to now, I ask him after each match, hey man, you see any progression? Like, if you're not seeing any progression, I need to do something different. So when I come out here, people's gonna be like, oh, that's Jake Elliott.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's he gonna do now?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I really feel like, man, you're really starting to put that name on the map now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Dude, you went from, like you said, being a manager, hey man, this ain't for me, I don't want a part of this, to, hey man, I think I can do this and make something out of this, make a good career out of this, which you've obviously done. And then on top of that, people are starting to know the name now a little bit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Fans light up when they see you come out. Obviously, babyface in WCWO right now.
It's like a feeling that you can never have, because like once you come out of the down the entranceway and people know who you are, they cheer you, or they boo you. Yeah, that's like, okay, I got their attention.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, they know who I am, they know what I do, so let's give it to them.
Yeah, exactly. Like building that fan base is really important too. Like you were saying, when you walk through the curtain, man, and I've talked to Danger about this and DeVille. Even when I walk through that curtain, I'm a nervous wreck.
Oh yeah.
Before I go through.
Oh yeah.
And if you're not nervous, then again, you're in the wrong business.
Oh yeah.
But when you go through that curtain, you flip that switch, and you become who you're supposed to be for those people.
As soon as I step up on the stairway or get right there at the curtain way, and they hit my music, like I get the worst feeling. Like I have to either take a piss or shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nerves are like in your belly, and hearts are racing, sweating.
As soon as I pop open that curtain, I step through, and they, like I said, cheer me or boo me. Mm-hmm. It's a whole different person that I bring out.
And that like gives me goosebumps too, because like I've had that, like I understand that feeling, and any athlete who's stepped on a basketball court or stepped in a professional wrestling ring or stepped on a baseball diamond, they have that same feeling, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah. And again, like goosebumps, guys, like because it's a different world, you have a sold out arena, like just like at the last ACW show, it was standing room only towards the end. And then you go out there and you either get the boo pop or you get the cheer pop,
right?
And that just lets you know that you're doing your job, and B, they know who the hell you are,
right? Well, like when I came out of that curtain the first time at ACW at the last show, and that big pop that I got, I'm like, okay, people starting to realize who I am.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, and dude, it was really cool too with you, because I was actually there the night. Excuse me. Because you kind of got thrown into a major group in AACW. You got thrown into the Gold Standard / Golden Prophecy, and you were kind of a catalyst in a way. You were like a young gun. You know what I mean? Fans were starting to pick up on you a little bit, and then you broke away from that because those guys turned on you. Brody, your big brother, as you say, he came out, man, and now you guys are the brothers. You know what I mean? Do you think that was something that the fans saw? Like they saw the sympathy, like I think they saw the hard work and the dedication, and then they seen you get turned on, and it was kind of like it kind of shifted them to be like, man, I've always liked this guy, but he's a guy I like to boo, but now I'm gonna cheer him because I do like the guy. Like,
well, let's say it this way: when I joined the Gold Standard, my dad said I was too cocky, that I need to relax more. And then when I actually defended my title for the first time ever, and I won fair and square, nobody was out there with me, no nothing.
One
and
on
then
one.
I get dumped on my back. It's kind of that feeling that I have with the Gold Standard is still there. Like, I want to kick their face in.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, absolutely, because I mean, you were kind of like I said, like you were kind of like a catalyst in a way. You know, kind of pushing the Gold Standard to like a younger crowd.
Right.
If that makes sense.
I felt like I brought the Gold Standard from where they was to who they are now.
Oh, for sure. You were definitely the guy that, because even when I was doing lives and stuff, I know you'd always be on my lives, and we would talk and have conversations like that. And I know one thing. I know you mentioned the championship, the International Openweight Championship, originally held by your big brother Brody Watkins. Brody obviously got hurt the ankle, was casted up. The belt was then kind of placed on your shoulder from one family member to another. You got a lot of heat for that.
I did.
Like, paper champion, didn't earn it, blah, 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 blah. But man, even going back through old lives and stuff, I was one of the guys that was like, this dude's gonna do something though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't gonna jump on that paper championship bandwagon crap, because I was like, look what he can do in the ring. Like, just because he was handed the championship doesn't mean that he's not going to defend the championship.
Right.
And then I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but your first title defense was Luke Lovelace, correct?
It was.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. It was Luke Lovelace, but then, like you said, you beat him one-on-one. There was no outside interference.
Yeah, I hit him with the pop-up cutter, 1, 2, 3. I mean, there wasn't nobody outside. I got inside involved with that match. But like I said, afterwards, Gold Standard came in and dumped me on my neck.
Yeah, and like I gotta ask, going back to like the paper champ comments and didn't earn it, all that. How were you feeling with all that, man? Because that was a big thing. I felt like every time you would come on one of my lives, I mean, that would be one of the hot top 3 topics. People would just be like, "You didn't earn it, kid. Like, you're not the champion. Whatever."
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I didn't like it, but also I didn't like it. Like, I didn't like being called paper champion or you didn't earn it or nothing like that. I hate getting handed stuff that I didn't earn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But on the other side is the reason why I like people calling me paper champion and everything like that, because they know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're realizing, hey, he is a champion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I gotta give him some kind of respect. So with them calling me paper champion, that's giving me my respect because they're recognizing me
as a champion.
As
you
a
know,
champion.
exactly. And then to go in and prove them wrong, you know, the first title defense, you did it all by yourself.
Exactly.
You know, and then I felt like maybe the spotlight shifted that night a little bit away from the Golden Prophecy to more Jake Elliott to where it was like...
When I got back to the back after that match, you know, the doctors taped me up and everything like that. They told me to go home, get rest, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could not go. I couldn't leave at that point in time. I had to make sure in the hog situation that it was fair and square.
Mm-hmm.
And
the
once
bull
I
rope
seen,
match, right?
Yeah, once I was seeing all the gold standard people jump on hog, I couldn't let that happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's boss man. I had to go out there and try to help him.
Well, I mean, like, it's the respect factor for the man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you said, he's boss man. You know, what's the worst injury, man, that you think you've sustained now? You've been doing this for how long now? Like wrestling, what? Not just managing. Like, let's take that out of the equation for a second. But like in ring work, how long you been doing it?
In ring work, I'm right about a year.
I was gonna say, I thought you were about between a year or two.
Yeah, I'm right about a year. I'm still green, but the worst injury I probably sustained was probably at the last AECW show.
I was gonna bring that up because funny thing was, see, you know, we all I feel like in the locker room there's groups. You know what I mean? You're always gonna have groups, and I feel like you and I are kind of involved in like a similar group. Right. You know what I mean? So I always try to go out and watch my buddies' matches and stuff at Gorilla. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was getting pulled in a couple different directions about the time you and Brody were going out for your match. And I got out there maybe 5-10 minutes into the match. And when I got to Gorilla position, I was peeking through the curtain to watch. I noticed your arm was down.
Yeah.
And I just thought maybe you were selling something. Maybe got thrown into the ring post or something. And then when you went to do an Irish whip, the arm gave out, and then that's when me and a few other guys were watching, and we were like, no, this ain't gonna work, this is real. And then I remember you coming back through the curtain and just hitting that floor, and it was shit. Like,
it was probably the worst pain I've ever been in. Like, I tore the MC joints on my shoulder, so like, they say it's like the meniscus in your knee, but it's right between your shoulder gap and your rotator cuff.
Okay.
Like your shoulder blade and your rotator cuff, like that.
Almost similar a little bit to what Ricky did.
Right.
Almost, you know what I mean? Like with the rotator cuff, yeah.
Like, it was done. Like, I can still feel it to this day. Like, if I sleep on it wrong, oh, Lord have mercy, when I wake up, it hurts.
Weather's always going to be a factor of that, too. You're going to be able to predict when it's going to rain or whatever, you know, because that's how it is with my tibia after it healed and stuff like that. When you first came back through the curtain, I thought instantly broken collarbone, because I had broken my collarbone, too, and the way that you couldn't lift the shoulder equally to the other shoulder, I thought for sure collarbone. But, man, to show you what kind of man you are, you literally leave the arena. You go through the back. You leave. You and your fiance leave, and within an hour,
I'm back at the
you're
arena.
walking through the crowd, and you're hanging out, and I'm like, that's a bad son of a bitch right there, because he just went to the damn ER to get himself checked out, and then he comes back, and you're just like, hey man, I'm here.
That's my family, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a brotherhood there.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to leave, and people had that warrior in the back of you. Hey, is he
okay? Or whatever, yeah.
So, once I went to the ER and got checked out and everything, I came back and let my brothers know, hey, I'm good. This is what happened, you know. I'll be back at this time. So, I just been working out, man, stretching it out every match. Like, I tape it up every match before I go out, you know what I mean? And it's not caused me any issues. I did my physical therapy and everything like that.
Yeah.
Doctors released me, so...
And physical therapy is just...
it's
dude, I remember talking to you, I think it was the first day you had done it. And you were just like, this is bullshit. And I was like, brother, I know the feeling. That first day is the roughest day. But it really doesn't get any easier in physical therapy. But it's not as bad as the first day.
Right. Like
the first day is the absolute worst.
It's the tension that releases the tension off your muscle. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. The way that those guys are trained to, you know, to do what they got to do. But, yeah, like, I remember talking to you about that first day, and I was just like, oh, man, he's going into physical therapy. I know what this feeling feels like. I've been there here just recently myself within the last 6-7 months. I got a hold of you and I was like, how'd it go? And you're like, bro, it was the worst thing.
Out, bro. Like,
dude, I wanted to kick my therapist in the face when they were working my leg. I was like, get off of my leg. Like, this hurts rough, so bad. It was rough. Man, I want to throw a couple, like I said, I throw a few curveballs in these interviews. I want to, and then we'll get back on to a little bit of Jake Elliott stuff. But I got a couple dream matches. I got 2 written down, but I'm gonna throw a third one at you. So I'll go ahead and do the one off the top of my head first. Now, this is just dream match scenario. Just give me who you would think would win the match. I'm going to go ahead and start off with Bret the Hitman Hart and Bryan Danielson, a.k.a. Daniel Bryan, for those who know him in WWE.
I have to go with Bret.
Gonna go with Bret?
Yeah. Go with Bret.
Yeah, okay. Second one, I'm going to go the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, AJ Styles.
I have to go with HBK.
HBK. All right. And then the last one, rest in peace to this man. He was a great athlete. Tragic death, unfortunately. Owen Hart and Kenny Omega.
Ooh, that one's...
Got the King of Hearts, and the best bout machine.
I probably have to go with Kenny Omega because he's more athletic. Like, he's more movement type. You know what I mean?
The 90-minute man. You know, it's really hard to wear Kenny down. Like, Kenny's used to Japan with Okada going 90-plus minutes every night if he had to.
Right.
But I definitely want to break down. So you went with HBK over Styles.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely see... that's a match I would have loved to have seen.
Oh, yeah.
I know here just a few years ago, AJ was teasing a possible match with HBK.
Right.
I would have loved to have seen that. Bret and Danielson, that would tear the house down.
It would.
That would be... That match would only... To me, that match could only happen under one stipulation, and that's Iron Man rules.
Yeah.
It would have to be 60 minutes. I just couldn't see it being one pinfall and calling it a day.
The thing is, can Bret go 60 minutes like that?
I mean, he did with Shawn, but Shawn wasn't Bryan.
Right.
At that time, Shawn trained to face Bret in a 60-minute Iron match, but he trained to pace Bret.
Right.
To where Danielson does this constantly doing it, you know. But I'd have to agree. I think Bret would eventually out-wrestle Danielson to a point because Bret's, you know, he's the best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Right. You know, he had that slogan for a reason. The guy's going to pull out something that Danielson isn't going to be expecting. And Bret was such a good mat wrestler to where he could reverse certain things. I mean, I seen him go from, you know, his opponent having him in the sharpshooter, he reverses it into his own sharpshooter, whatever, figure 4 to a sharpshooter. But yeah, dude, I would love to see, you know, again, it sucks that Owen passed at such an early age in his career.
He's scary.
But man, like, him and Kenny, I think Owen and Kenny would be a great match. I think they would tear it down. Another random thing I'll throw in here. I have to ask it. I think it's become a funny story. Is I did it once. I think like in season 2. I asked this question, and then I got a lot of people asking me. They're like, "Well, who's yours?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, here's mine. Well, maybe I'll throw this in each one. Who's your Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling?" Of any era, any company, it doesn't matter.
My
just
favorite wrestler? Or?
Yeah, just like who would you put in your top 4 Mount Rushmore?
Oh, my top 4. Well, it definitely has to be The Rock because he kills it on the mic. Anytime he does a promo, he kills it. Has to be Stone Cold because
there you
it's
go.
Stone Cold.
Hell yeah, absolutely, man.
You know what I mean? 3 would probably have to be Eddie Guerrero. I love Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie, man.
4 probably 4. There's so many to pick.
Right, I know it's hard when you like
Scott Hall is probably in my top 4.
Yeah, Scott, man.
Like,
I mean,
and then 5 would probably have to be Triple H when he first became Triple H.
Okay, so like the Game Cerebral Assassin type stuff. Yeah. And he really did earn that moniker, the Game. You know what I mean? Like when you look back from what he was doing, you know, being Thunder Rising in WCW early 90s and then into Hunter Hearst Helmsley with the whole pedigree style that he had, you know, and then to become the leather jacket, denim jacket wearing Cerebral Assassin. Like, I mean, D-Generation X, you know, is another thing. I got to ask too. I know in this business we all have dream matches. I have matches I have matches in AACW that I would love to see happen. There's matches I've pitched for. I pitched for Christian Cash and Damien DeVille in a 30-minute Ultimate Submission match. Who are your top 3 guys just in AACW that you would like to face that you haven't faced yet, and what type of match would you want to do with that person?
I haven't faced yet?
Yeah, that you haven't faced yet that you would like to do, and what type of stipulation would you want that match to have on?
Probably Justin Terrell in a no-holds-barred street fight.
Okay.
Just because he's a leader of the Golden Prophecy. So I want to get my hands on him on good time because he's the reason why they turned on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that would be probably number 1. Number 2 would probably be probably Christian Cash.
Okay.
That'd probably be a fire match. Just probably last man standing.
Last man standing.
Number 3 probably Damien DeVille.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I can't say Ricky Guns or I can't say Brody Botkins because I already beat Ricky Guns once.
Yeah, you've already done that.
You know what I mean? And I mean, Brody's been going head to head for quite some time now, different promotions and everything like that. So me and Brody's 1-1. So I like to get that tiebreaker.
Yeah, for sure.
So the top 3 would probably be Justin Terrell, Christian Cash, and Damien DeVille.
And Damien. I really think with your style and Christian Cash's style, because like I said, I have all the respect in the world for all 3 of those guys that you mentioned. All 3 great workers. Man, I would love to see you and Christian Cash.
It would be fire.
I think that would be something that the fans would definitely not go get popcorn at that time for, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be glued to that seat. Like, that's a match you're going to want to see.
Especially at the last man standing match, too. Like, I'm the type where I'm not going to give up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's got so much heart.
Give up.
Exactly.
So it has to be probably a double down.
It'd have to be something to where you're like, one of you would have to put something on top of the other one heavy enough to hold them down because both of you guys are like lion-hearted to where you're not going to give up on that 10 count.
I got that little bit more in me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll keep going.
Yeah. What type of match would you want with DeVille?
Oh, I'm not big on submission, so I can't do a really submission match, you know what I mean? So probably an Iron Man match.
Iron Man match. Now that would be good.
An Iron Man match.
I would like to see that. I think that would be awesome right there, to be honest with you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that would be,
Bring everybody in the ACW out, and we just go out.
Just go at it, man. Like, yeah, dude, absolutely. Man, let's go back to the championship really quick. I know that you, obviously you carry the title proudly. You know what I mean? In everybody's eyes, it was shut down that you did during the championship, going back to that whole paper champion thing. Are you defending the championship anywhere else? Like, as far as, like, because it's kind of like a family championship now.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It is.
Like,
at TCW, I put it up a couple times,
I believe you, when you faced Ricky Guns, actually, it was for the championship, right?
Yes, it was for the championship. But I really don't put it up nowhere else because, like, if I'm ever going to lose this belt, I want to lose it to the person that handed it down to me.
Brody.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So it has to be that big person to keep me down to take my belt from me.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm a fighter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna whoop that ass until I can't whoop that ass.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, like, I'm always open to put my title up.
Yeah.
I'm always open.
Just whenever contender comes up, it's like, hey.
I got a number 1 contender at AECW, Johnny Swade.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And whenever AECW is ready, I put him back.
Johnny's a great guy too, man, and I would love to see you two lock it up.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be a really, really awesome match.
It's
like,
time consuming, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And like
I've heard this now for a while through you and Swade, because I'm good friends with both you guys. Consider you both guys as my brothers. And man, I've heard this circulating through my eardrums now for a while. I would love to see a Johnny Swade versus Jake Elliott match.
He's a good guy, but once he steps in square with me, I'm gonna have to bring the darkness to light.
Yeah, right.
You know what
See,
I mean?
and that's a good thing too.
And I'm gonna have to show him what the champ's all about.
I got to ask too for the people who don't know, where the name Jake Elliott come from, man?
Oh man, I was just sitting there. Me and Brody were just sitting there throwing names out. And believe it or not, like, I always liked the name Jake.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know why it was. And then Philadelphia Eagles kicker is named Jake Elliott.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I was like, that's catchy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jake Elliott, that's fire. And Brody was like, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good name. He goes, are you sure you want to go with that? I was like, bro, that's it.
That's what I want. It's
know
almost
what I
like
mean?
once you hear it out loud, you're like, that's what I want. Yeah.
And then, like, I started trying to put a gimmick together and everything like that. And, like, there was, like, the shooting star. I was like, no, I don't like that. And Brody was like, well, what are you thinking? I was like, how about the rising star? Because I started from nothing, and here I am now. Yeah. I'm rising.
Yeah.
I said, what about the rising star, Jake Elliott? He goes, it's catchy.
Yeah.
I was like, let's rock with it.
And I can just hear him saying that exact sentence right there. He's like, well, let's catch it. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, because see, like the thing with another funny story too, a lot of people don't know about. Speaking of your name, with Tanner Kelly, we were, it's like my son, man. We were sitting at work one day. Tanner and I worked together quite a bit for a couple different jobs, and we were sitting at work one day, and he was trying to come up with names, and it was kind of like how you said with you and Brody. Names were getting thrown out, and he just, he looks at me, he goes, man, I don't know. He's like, I kind of want to keep my first name just as Tanner. He's like, I just need to come up with the last one. And man, we were sitting there and we were just throwing out different names.
Oh yeah, it's
and
hard.
And all
dude.
of a sudden, he just says Kelly, and I heard Kelly, and I just said Tanner Kelly, and I was like, "That's your name right there."
Yep.
I said, "That is catchy as fuck right there, dude." I was like, "That is a name that like could be a star one day."
Oh,
you know, like you hear that name, so that's kind of like Jake Elliott, because like you hear that name, and it's like you said, you heard it out loud, and you're like, that's what I want, because that's the name that catches with me, and it's a very intriguing name, like it is with Tanner Kelly, where it's like, all right, yeah, man, I can chant that name, let's go Elliot, or whatever, and it's like that's something that fans can get behind and stuff.
And once we came up with Jake Elliott, like all I can picture is like the Jake Elliott and like the Hollywood lights, you know what I mean, like the beams and everything pushing down on me. I was like, that's it, bro.
And I gotta ask too, man, with the shirt, because I know you got the new logo. You've had this now for a little
while. I had
while.
this logo for a while.
Yeah. Now. Where did the logo come from?
Basically when.
Because when I first seen you wear it out, I think you wore black and purple.
Yeah. Basically it's like my inner demon.
Okay.
That comes out, kind of like a Finn Balor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like. Once I put this shirt on, I'm Jake.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm Jake Elliott. This is who I am.
Yeah.
And I want people to look at that shirt like, oh, that's pretty wicked.
Yeah.
But that's pretty cool, too.
Yeah.
So I started throwing out ideas and everything like that. And I came up to this idea, and I'm like, bro, that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the smiley, graffiti face.
Yeah.
That's like a good guy mixed with a bad guy.
Yeah, because I was going to say, it kind of works, like, with both, I mean? Whether you're a baby or a hill, like.
Right. And, like, I just went with it. Like, I like the drooling, bloody look on it, but it's also, like, a catchy face type of person.
Well, and it's like you got different colors, too, you know what I mean? So it's good publicity, it's good advertisement, It's a good logo to where you have, like, one person might, their favorite color might be purple.
Right.
So they see that and they're like, hey, I want that one. Other pros, you're wearing the red today. Hey, I like red's my favorite color. I want the red one. You know what I mean?
Well, I just got my, I get my new merch tonight. My new shirts. Okay. I got black on blue, white on black. I got any color you want.
Okay. So you really just kind of like, you're putting it out there to where it's like, no matter what you like, this is what I can give you. And see, and that's the thing too, man, because like, a lot of people don't understand this business. When you go out there, you are in business for yourself as far as your gimmick, your character, who you're trying to portray for the crowd. You've got to put your logo on stuff. You gotta have merch, man. People want merch. You know what I mean? Like, you go to WWE. If WWE didn't have merch, they wouldn't have half of what they had.
Right.
If AEW doesn't have merch for the wrestlers, they don't have half what they have. You have to have merch. And I loved going to local shows and independent shows and seeing these wrestlers coming out here and seeing all this talent, and they've got a whole thing of merch, you know,
Right.
laying there, and it's like, man, that's badass. Because
Well,
if you're into that guy or that girl at that time, you want to go and you want to buy a T-shirt or a sticker
Exactly.
or whatever. Like,
it's a different feeling for us too. Like if we show up to an event and we see a fan with our merch on, you know what I mean? That's like the biggest feeling you can get.
absolutely,
Like,
man.
hey, I got people
Absolutely.
out there that loves me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I do, so they're gonna
Yeah.
get you to buy my merch.
I know, it's like, it's so weird because I keep making this joke, but it's so true. It's like, you know, like obviously, you know, I just went Hill here, you know, like last year sometime, and you know, SWS, like I have my little following and stuff, like my cult following, whatever. But it's so weird, man, because it's like I feel like I have more fans now as a Hill than I did as a baby face. But then I look back on it and I look at guys like Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know, when they were trying to push him as like not a baby face, but as baby face, when he was just himself, it was like, all right, I like him more.
Yeah.
Brian Pillman was another guy, you know, Flying Brian, everybody loved him, but when he became the loose cannon, it was like his fan base, you know, it just blew up. And yeah, it's just weird, man. Do you find yourself playing the role of baby or playing the role of Hill that you enjoy more? Is there one that you enjoy more than the other one? Like I know some guys say it doesn't really matter. Other guys say I enjoy this more because of this reason, or
I like being a face. Like when you come out of the curtain, everybody's screaming Jake Elliott, and everybody's wanting like dabs and everything around the ring. That'll make you feel good.
yeah,
But being a heel and you come out of that apron or come out of the entranceway and telling everybody they suck, you know what I mean?
right, and
like,
you're able to get in their face and scream
bro.
at them and everything.
That's
Yeah,
it's a whole different feeling. Like I said, the merch, bro.
uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I could play both sides.
Yeah.
But I think I play a face better than I do
Then
a
you
heel.
do the Hill. Okay.
Exactly, because I'm like when I first got into this business, and still to this day, I'm shy as hell. Like shy as hell. When I come out of the apron, I don't do nothing fancy. I don't do nothing big.
Same.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But once I pop through and everybody's cheering, I'm like, oh, all right, I already got them on my side,
Yeah.
so
Yep.
let's go ahead and start clapping hands.
Yep. High fiving
I mean?
hands, bumping, whatever. Yeah.
But I think I feel like I play a face better than I do a heel.
Yeah. See, and it's funny that you mentioned that you're shy as hell, because like that's how I feel about myself too, man. I live a very quiet life.
Right.
I'm very to myself with my family. You know, you've been to my parties and stuff, but my parties are usually our
Laid
group
back.
of people, and
Yep.
it's laid back, us just chilling. It ain't wild or
Yep.
crazy. We ain't burning nothing down or nothing, you know. But I'm the same way, man. I go through I'm back there a nervous wreck. You know, I'm not going to lie to people. I'm a nervous wreck before I go through the curtain. And like we said earlier, if you're not a nervous wreck, then you're on damn business.
Right.
I go through that curtain, and like you said, man, like I'm a heel now, so I don't do anything very much. Ricky does all the shit talking. I just come out and I just give you this smug, I call it the smug CM Punk look. I'm
Right.
better than you, and you know it kind of attitude,
Right.
you know. And the crowd just lights up on that, you know. But then here at the last show, I walked out, and here's this group of this group of family members, and they got their little SWS signs, and they got their Called X signs.
Mm-hmm.
And they're over
What do
here,
you do,
and
bro?
these kids are over here trying to throw
You
the
know
too
what I mean?
sweet, and I'm like, they're my fans, man.
Right.
Like I want these kids to go to school the next day and be like, man, I saw SWS or Called X or whatever, man. So hell yeah, I'm gonna turn around and hit them with the too
Right.
sweet or a fist bump. Hill or not, man. You know, Hills have fans too, and I'm a big guy about the fans. I wouldn't be, you know, SWS wouldn't be SWS without the people. So Hill or face, I don't care. A little kid comes up to me and wants a high five, I'm giving that little kid a high five.
Right.
That's just what it comes down to.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, I would do the same thing. Like, but once, like I said, once I come out of the entranceway and I'm that heel, I don't want to give nobody shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, only people I'll give a high five to is my kids.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, everybody else can go fuck off.
Yeah.
But after
After everything's done.
I'm done
Yeah.
performing and everything like that, and I got back to the back and I got time to cool down,
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, now I'll go out. Like, what's up, little kid?
See,
You
and
know
like
what I
that's
mean?
such a good feeling to you, man. Like when you go out there, you know, like when the show's over, there's a lot of fans. You've been to a lot of the shows where the fans
Right.
hang out after the show's
Right.
over, you know, because they want to get photo ops and autographs
Mhm.
and pictures, whatever. That is such a cool feeling. to go out there, you know, when you're broken down from character, like you said, you've cooled down, you're just back to you now, and you go out there and they still see you as that character, as that gimmick that you're portraying, and you're able to, you know, make their day, and you know, it gives them bragging rights to go to school.
Right.
Man, I went to this cool wrestling event. I got this picture with this really cool wrestler. He was awesome. He was the guy that I remembered. Blah 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 blah.
Most of the kids take the picture to school with them to show them.
And show them.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it was a funny story too, because we were my niece Pearl. She was arguing with a girl at her school, saying that her two uncles, Ricky Guns and sWs, aren't wrestlers or part of a wrestling company.
Mm-hmm.
So on my nephew's wedding day, we actually went and took a picture with Pearl. Ricky and I did. And she was so excited because she couldn't wait to go to school and just shove it in that girl's face to be like, I told you they were, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, dude, it's just little things like that. Like, the fans make it all worth it. You know, without the fans, we wouldn't be here doing it. Is there a particular match that you would want to go into? Like, is there a match that, like, you know, like, you were there for fans bring the weapons?
Yes. Speaking of that, I'm the one that lit the table on fire.
I was gonna say, that's why I wanted to bring it up, because if you go back and watch the footage, Jake Elliott was the one that put the lighter fluid on the table.
A bit too much on there.
Man, dude, like, okay, so like, you know, since you were in the arena, dude, and I've hyped this match up. I don't think, as far as like a gimmick match or a stipulation match goes, for the company of ACW, I don't think a match is ever going to top that for the feeling in the arena. Like, describe for me, from your eyes, how that crowd was, man. Because like, I mean, I can do it myself 1,000 times a day, but
like once me and Brody popped out of fucking the curtain, bro, it was already hell. Yeah. Like they already hated us as soon as we stepped foot out of the fucking curtain. And once the match started, and when Brody caught Cash off the ladder and Simone him through the table.
Oh yeah.
And the fans started saying, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, that was ECW shit, man.
That was that gave me goosebumps.
Fans were literally. I was standing on my own chair just to see, because fans, they started flooding towards the ring itself.
Like they started surrounding us.
Yeah, like you couldn't see no more. Sitting like I was sitting front row on the far side by the restroom area, but people from other rows were coming over in the ringside area.
Right.
And I had to stand up on my own chair just to be able to film and to get the footage that I wanted to get. And like you said, when they started chanting "Holy shit," the first "Holy shit" chant that happened, it never stopped for the rest of the match.
And then when we went to the flaming table spot, it was crazy. The roof blew up.
Yeah, I was gonna say it blew the building apart. Like I'd never seen anything like that.
Through the table, and it was still on
fire.
It was still on fire, rolling. And everybody was like, "Oh my god!" You know what I mean?
do believe. I think it was Johnny Crisis. I think might have been the one that actually put him out.
DeVille.
Was it DeVille that put him out? Okay.
Yeah, DeVille threw a whole bunch of water.
Okay, because I remember like when he went through the table just exploded.
Oh yeah, and then his whole family was sitting
right there,
and
it was like the perfect moment to where that table was set up, because Christian had brought like his whole friends and family.
Yeah.
And I just remember looking over, and when Brody put him through that table, and the way that table just exploded, and Christian rolled through, and he was literally on fire, and that crowd was just. Like I said, once the "Holy shit" chant happened, it never stopped for the rest of the match.
When he got slammed through the table, bro, it was like, you could hear a penny drop.
Yeah. Oh,
but once you started rolling, and everybody sitting there was like, "Holy shit!" And
dude, it was a moment
crazy,
that, like, I just don't think a moment will ever top that. So yeah, like, what's a match, man, that you would want to go into that would maybe give you that same feeling of like?
I'm really excited for my match tomorrow at TCW. The
Jeffersonville, right?
Jeffersonville, yes. The no DQ grudge match.
Okay.
With me and Charles Colton. Like, we've been having this rivalry going on past 3
you guys.
months.
I was about to say, you guys have had quite the rivalry now.
Yeah, I mean, 3 months ago we went 1-on-1, you know, and it was a singles fall. So I threw him up to the cutter, that's in the end of his life, and he hit me with the chain. Knocked me out cold.
Midair.
Yeah.
Gotcha, yeah.
1, 2, 3. And then a couple months back, I came out during one of his matches, and you know, once you get hit with the head with the chain, you're never gonna let that go.
Yeah, yeah.
So I came out with the chair and with the kendo stick, you know, and I set my ass right there in the entranceway. And I already knew what I was gonna do. I already knew he was gonna show around his mouth as soon as you see me. So he said some slick shit, you know, and then he pointed to my lady. He was like, "That's why she knows what a real man feels like last night."
Yeah, yeah.
And when I stood up, he threw his shot. And when he threw his shot, I ducked it and I just egged his head. Like, I put a big-ass rock right on top of his head.
Yeah. One thing that you talked about, too, man, the feud's been good. And like I said, you're facing him tomorrow night at TCW, Jeffersonville, Indiana. You guys can actually check out TCW, that's Traditional Championship Wrestling, on Facebook. Hit that search bar. You can get your tickets and stuff like that there. Check out my boy Jake Elliot there tomorrow night. One thing you've done recently that I really like, and I don't know if it's something that you've done purposely or just maybe something you've done and now it's become like a part of you. There are times where you'll come out and you'll just sit in a chair. Front row kind of thing. And you just hang out, man.
Yeah,
like, you'll just kind of sit there and just kind of chill and take it all in for a minute. It's kind of like, I'll get in there when I'm ready to get in there kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
like, I just want to absorb all of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes, like,
Mind
I'm out
games.
there, like, everything's just, like, blocked out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I sit down in the chair and I just listen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
kind of
listen
take
to
it all
the crowd, and then, like, that gets me hyped.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, all right, it's go time. Let's go. You know what I mean? That gets me pumped up.
Absolutely.
I'm ready to go. But, like I said earlier, dude, like, the fans is what keeps you going.
Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely. What, for Jake Elliott, per se, what is the... Let's do a two-part question. What's the biggest pop you've gotten and where?
The biggest pop I probably gotten was this past show at ACW in Kokomo.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what was the other part of the question?
Well, you actually just answered it. Because it was biggest pop you ever got, and then where.
Okay,
So it's AACW.
So yeah, like when I popped out, dude, when I came out of the curtain, when they hit my music, like they knew it was me.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
By my
See,
music.
now, isn't that like isn't that such a feeling now that like you have like a distinct song now that when they hear that they're like, oh, I know who this is. Here we go.
It's just like Brody's, bro. When the break trains go off,
dude,
they know it's either gonna be, I'm gonna cheer my ass off for this dude,
or I'm gonna boo him. Yeah,
dude.
exactly.
You know
I was
mean?
just watching. I actually just went back today and I rewatched it. He was at might have been DCCW maybe that he was at, or JNCW maybe. I think it was DCCW.
Was it a triple threat?
I think it was. Maybe
Jackson Morgan.
I watched two. Because I was scrolling through.
That was at DCCW.
Okay, so it was DCC. Okay, so yeah, that's the one I saw. Okay, because I watched two. Man, he come out and it was just.
Oh, they already know.
Dude, he is just like, he's such a monster when he walks out.
Yeah, bro.
Nicest guy in the fucking world.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
But it's like when he comes to that curtain, man, flip that switch, and dude, he's just like.
Like, when he comes to that
that's
curtain.
That's the scariest son of a bitch right there.
A 6'6", 450-pound dude.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
What are you going to do?
Oh, yeah.
You know
I mean,
what
dude, I remember on the set of the old SWS set when he picked me up with my hoodie and put me through that table.
Yeah.
Like, holy cow. And then he put Cash to the table.
Yeah.
I mean, he just come in and just destroyed the set and just ripped everything apart. And I mean, the dude is a freight train.
Can
like,
you imagine going one-on-one with him?
Dude, I mean, yeah. You know what I mean?
Bro, when I stepped foot in the ring with Brody Buckets, I was looking up at him like, how in the hell am I supposed to take this dude down?
Well, because he's so much bigger than what you actually realize,
right.
or what you think he is. And
the videos don't do quality.
No, they don't. Like, I mean, I've stood face to face with this guy myself, and dude, he is a lot monstrous.
He's
than
not
what
fat,
people.
bro.
No, he's not fat. He's just a
big
fucking.
dude.
He's a big country style boy. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, he's a big scary man. But like I said, the nicest fucking guy in the world. Do any fucking thing for anybody. Hell, man, I remember going over to his house and him lining me up with a haircut and shit and giving me advice and shit like that. And I thought that was the coolest thing, you know, for him.
Love him to death.
You know, I'd sit there. We'd do, you know, lives and shit, and you know, we'd get off the live. Man, he'd call me, hey brother, blah 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 blah. You know, good shit, man, good shit. Or I'd text him, hey man, good shit, blah 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 blah. Just the nicest guy, man. Did you guys start off like? Were you one of the guys where you started off like backyard wrestling, getting into it?
Let me tell you, we used to have a replica WCWO belt, the big gold one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
And we used to have a little shed in my back door. So what we did was we hung a curtain over the back door, and we put the little jukebox inside the shed.
Okay.
So we have somebody in there playing music, and we just come out the back door and go onto the trampoline.
Yeah.
And the trampoline was our square.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we hit rock bottoms and
the most broken toes and stuff
dude.
ever was trampolines.
Oh yeah,
man.
dude.
Like,
broken arms, broken
absolutely.
legs. You know what I mean?
I remember hitting springs.
Oh
or
man.
You bounce so high, you bounce onto the railing bar or something.
Let me tell you this. It just got done raining, okay? And we was out there doing what we do, and Brody wanted to do a moonsault. He started jumping and everything like that, and he missed the whole mat and just went right on the fucking springs, and his feet went backwards, so he's laying on the trampoline like this, bro, and his feet stuck. Oh my god, dude, it was the funniest shit I ever had.
A wet trampoline is like the worst thing that you can
it's
do,
a slip
man.
and slide, bro.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Man, I remember being, I was little. I remember my buddy dared me one time, because we did the whole trampoline wrestling thing too, and where his trampoline was, it was perfectly set up next to the garage. And this is before nets, people. This is before people had nets. You know, if you bounced too high, you just went off the damn trampoline.
Right.
Man, I remember hitting this damn. My buddy was like, "Man, you got a good moonsault off the ladder and stuff. I want to see you do a moonsault off the roof." And I was like, "Yeah, I'd probably do that. Yeah, okay, whatever." So I get up there, I climb up the ladder, get on the roof. I do this moonsault, man. In my mind, I was like, "It's a moonsault. You land flat." I didn't factor in the fact that the trampoline is going to make me buckle inward a way that my body should not go with that momentum. Bro. Man, I hit that damn trampoline, and if this was my back said like that, and it arched me to a point where, like, you ever been in pain so much you can't scream?
Yep.
You can't talk, you can't cry, you can't do nothing but lay there, and you try to make some type of sound or noise with your mouth. Yeah, that's like, I don't know what to do. Man, that was one of the worst things I ever did as a damn kid doing backyard wrestling, other than my brother knocking me out with a fucking lawn chair because he hit me with the damn bar of the damn chair and shit. My little brother clocked me with that. But yeah, man, that was probably like the worst thing that happened to me, was hitting that damn trampoline, man, because that's the thing people don't understand. You know, trampolines back in the day, like you said, that was our squared circle. That was how we wrestled, you know what I mean? Or, you know, DeVille and I and our buddies, man, we'd go and we'd find the PAL Club baseball diamond, and we'd go out there and wrestle on that shit. But, man, you get suplexed on dirt.
Oh, yeah.
Dirt hurts, you know what I mean? Like, that's a little stinger right there. But we'll start winding it down a little bit, brother. But I got to ask, man, one of my favorite questions to ask is, what was the first memory that you have as a kid of seeing professional wrestling? Like, what was that thing that drew you into that sport, man?
Oh, man. There's many of them. Probably when I was about 4 or 5 years old, my dad turned on the show, you know, and it was always on Channel 4. Mm-hmm. Like the old school wrestling, Dusty Rhodes back in the days or something. And I could never watch it. So, like, I used to peep around the corner and look at the TV and
try to get some
big, that's pretty cool, you know? And one day my dad finally sat me down and he showed me The Rock and Stone Cold and Steve or Triple H and everybody like that. I'm like, bro, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Jason Maples opened up, and I used to cut my grass every Friday, just to get money to go watch wrestling.
To go to EWS.
You know what I mean? Yeah. We used to go to Penguin Point right beside it to get a sandwich, and then we go right there, and boom. Yeah. It's always me and Dustin. Me and Brody always went. We used to drive our bikes down there. Like, we never missed a show there, and that's what really pulled us in. And then Brody used to start collecting wrestling figures. You know, he had totes.
Yeah.
I'm talking totes of wrestling figures. And Titantrons and everything like that. So we used to do like the little action figure pay-per-views.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
hell yeah.
You know, we used to put the music on the Xbox, the old school
Yeah,
Xbox,
yeah,
and
yeah.
walk them down like
Hell yeah.
walk them down
Exactly
the
what you mean
Titantron.
there. Yep.
And we
Make
just,
your own little entranceways and shit and
make
everything.
our
Yeah.
own story
Hell
strip.
yeah,
like
dude,
we change
absolutely.
titles. Like we take the fucking elbow pads off each wrestler and put them on a different wrestler.
Yep.
And it just made me stuck, bro.
And it's really cool that you talked about like the wrestling figures. So I know like DeVille and my good brother Travis and David, shout out to them too, sweet. We did the same thing, and but man, even now at 40 years old, I find myself playing wrestling games, and I'm building my own storylines and still doing that stuff. It's like I literally took it from figures. You know, I have a bunch of figures, but they're collectibles now. So now I just do the shit on a damn computer, do the shit on a damn TV screen.
Like every time I play 2K, bro.
It's just so cool to be able to get on and create characters and make your own roster and just do all that shit, man. Like, brother, it's been a blast, man. I appreciate you making the drive. Now, you said you're in WCWO tonight.
Yes, I'm going to WCWO tonight. Don't know if I'm gearing up, but I'm going to be there just in case somebody.
You're going to be there just in case?
Yep.
All right.
I will. I'm normally on opposite weeks at WCWO, but I've been going up every Friday because even if I don't suit up, I'm still there learning.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? Like watching matches and listening to people call the matches is knowledge. You know
exactly. And man, and dude, I would love to get down to WCWO, man. I really would. I've heard so many great things. It's kind of one of the one companies I haven't really got a chance. I personally have not walked into that arena yet. That's an arena that I've wanted to walk into. It's just the timing hasn't been right for whatever reasons. You know, I've been to a lot of different companies. I'd love to get down there. A company I'd love to see you get into, NGW. I would love to see you get in New Generation Wrestling. A lot of talent. Luke Savage is down there. Dalton Love's down there. I know Guns and I do a lot of work down there. A lot of great talent down there at NGW. Larry's, shout out to Larry. Larry's a great guy, great friend, great promoter. Yeah, man, I'd love to see you get NGW. There's a handful of guys in that behind that curtain that I could see Jake Elliott having a hell of a match with. So yeah, I'd love to get down to WCWO, see you do your thing down there eventually. And yeah, I'd love to see you in NGW. I think that would be a blast. Another company I'd love to see you in, man. Great group of guys. Kind of it reminds me of AACW locker room. Real tight group of guys. Shout out to Rod Street. That's AWE.
AWE.
Jackson, Michigan. Man, always a blast up there. Shout out to Rod Street and AWE, man. But yeah, you guys can check out Jake tonight at WCWO down in Indianapolis, Indiana. Hit that Facebook search bar, search WCWO. You guys won't be disappointed. Brother, I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor. It's your episode. Any shout out you want to give? Anything you want to say, brother? It's all you.
Shout out to Brody. Hope you're doing good. Come check out the new merch tonight, WCWO. If you can't make it tonight, I'll be in Jeffersonville, Indiana tomorrow. If you can't make it to that one, AACW is coming home, part 2. Next week, be there, be square.
And I know that's right, brother. Man, it's been a blast, brother. Too sweet.
Too sweet.
Appreciate you, man, for coming on.
Sir, always.
Guys, SWS Shootin' with Shane, Season 3, Episode 5 is now in the books. And that is just too sweet.